I could also show you my secret shame.
Secret shame.
So
Secret shame.
next
Secret
door.
shame.
Take it all in. I don't know if you would believe this, but I have emptied out half the stuff that was in here.
So it's back to the ceiling.
It was. Yeah.
So why? What is all of this? What is it? What are we looking at?
What are you, my therapist? What you are looking at is a bookstore.
I can imagine that.
You have to see it with the eyes of faith. And if you can't see it, that's a you problem. This is a bookstore, and the only thing that stands between me and all of my dreams coming true is emptying this space out. Also, probably a certain amount of cringe, you know? Many good things in life lie on the other side of cringe. Because what is cringe if not sincerity, uncomfortable sincerity, and doing things that you can't do well? And also vulnerability in public. That's cringe. That's oof. Caring about things, being bad at things, revealing that you suck.
Break that down a little bit more.
Like, it's weird because I love cringe comedy, Arrested Development.
We can't have them hanging around like a bunch of freeloaders looking for an easy buck.
What's the emergency, Mom?
I need money.
Watching people make mistakes and not learn from them is so wonderful. But one does sort of want to learn from one's own mistakes, you know? And I would love for this to be a bookstore. A lot of my life is centered around material culture, and I love things. And some things I'm able to turn into money, and that's my livelihood. And one cannot live at a 10,000-foot view of one's life. It's just not healthy. But if there is a through line between all of my wife and I's projects, it's things that are underappreciated or undervalued that you can then change the way people see them so that they know how to value them correctly. And that definitely goes for like vintage stuff, vintage clothing and vintage furniture. But it also works for buildings, people not valuing buildings, and then you can show, you know. And then we do work with animals, wildlife rehabilitation, stuff like that. The downside to that is sometimes I accumulate things that I want to transform in that way or re-show people that I should actually just get rid of. And that's that sticky line between hoarding and collecting and having a shop. And a lot of the reason that I have a shop is it gives me an excuse to collect things that if I just had my house, it would be pathological.
Yeah.
But I do need to get rid of some stuff so that I can demo this and turn it into a bookstore.
Do you have any examples in here of something that would fall into that category of you feel like you should just get rid of it?
This arcade cabinet. When I first moved to Colfax, I was like, the worst thing about Colfax is the best thing, which is the highway running through it. So I started to work on a version of the video game Frogger, where the goal was to cross the street in Colfax. Like you were a pedestrian crossing the street in Colfax. And I thought it would be funny to have an arcade cabinet with a game that I made that was you trying to cross the street in Colfax. Meta. Obviously, I got to what I'm going to say is a solid 60% on that project, and then was like, the idea was good enough. I don't need to actually finish it, but I still have the arcade cabinet and 60% of a video game. The romance of giving that experience to people, like how disorienting and wonderful that could be, was worth it. For a while, when Nate was starting Humble Burger in Moscow and I was his landlord, I was like, I'm going to give him a gift when he opens, which is a Humble Burger themed burger game, Meta. Yeah, but I also didn't finish that, obviously. You don't have ideas. Ideas have you. Ideas are things that possess you in a very real spiritual way that make you beholden to bring them into the world. They're like daemons. I know that's pronounced demon, but they're like spirits in the non-physical world. An idea comes down to you and it attaches itself to you like a spiritual remora. You don't have it. It has you. it's controlling you. You have an obligation to bring it into the world. And sometimes that's the only way to exercise it. So sometimes if I have an idea, all I need is validation of the idea. And I'll tell people and they'll be like, yeah, that's a good idea. And I'll be like, good, I never have to do that. That's not super healthy because they're more fun if you actually realize them. It's very difficult to know which ideas you share in the idea form and which ideas you don't, because if you share them, they're gone.
Well, some people's idea demons, they are significantly stronger because of the amount of ideas they actually execute on.
Yeah.
Because if we're thinking about it in terms of being possessed, and you think about the strength of a demon kind of depends on what it's able to make you do. For some people, they have lots of ideas, but the demon isn't that strong.
Yeah.
And it's not really making you do anything.
One thing that's very important is names. So I'm going to tell you that this is a bookstore, but I can't tell you the name because we all know that knowing the names of things gives you power over them. Like self-diagnosing yourself with ADHD. But names must be kept secret because if you tell people the name, then they have access to it that they probably shouldn't have until it's real. So it's like Rumpelstiltskin. Keep those names secret.
So you have a name for this space that we're standing in right now?
No, actually, the name for this sucks. So I'm coming up with a different name.
The boxes, though. What is the majority of the boxes?
Yard sale. Yard sale.
But, like, what is it?
Oh, this is clothing. So
that you bought and couldn't sell or haven't displayed or...
I think we have a perception that when we donate clothes that they probably go to thrift stores. That's only true for a fairly small percentage of the clothes that we donate. There are just too many clothes. If you think of those like donation boxes on the side of the road, this is a whole sort of middle industry of people that just sort of move this stuff around. So a lot of thrift stores buy that stuff from the companies that collect it. But a lot of those just get shipped to what we now call the developing world. A place that they go if they don't immediately go out of the country or to thrift stores is through places called rag houses. And sometimes those rag houses will sort the stuff for you. So this is a shadowy world that became much less shadowy during COVID and everyone became very interested in this middle space. I sometimes buy clothes from rag houses. And they theoretically condition check it and sort it into different categories that you can buy. Their condition check is not as stringent as mine. So I buy stuff from them and then I sort it again. And some of it makes it into the store and some of it goes directly to yard sale. And then to thrift stores where the process repeats itself.
Cool.
Not cool.
Thank you for showing us your shame.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Aiden, it's your turn.
I guess we could go up into the...
Yeah.
Who is Buck this way?
Oh, he's going that way?
Yeah.
What? There's a that way?
Yeah.
It's too stupid. Too stupid. This is the bookstore as well. I hope that you can see that. Mainly that the actual space down below is quite a bit taller because of this drop ceiling, which gives me just enough space to build a mezzanine around it. And I think that bookstores, in order to achieve that kind of like temple of the book thing, you have to have a nice space for your bookstore to be. And I think the mezzanine really makes that. It's going to be awesome.
Do you have a sense of a timeline for opening?
I have a sense that if I don't turn this into a bookstore, that I will die. That's been very motivating. I would like to make significant progress on it this year so that it starts to feel a certain sort of inevitability. Like this is what it has to be. Growing up, my dad had an ice cream store and I had some contact with his landlord who was an auctioneer. And Mr. Campbell had many aphorisms. They were all terrific. But one of them was, if you chase two rabbits, you catch none. So it's not like a hymn original, but but that's something I think about often. because I chase a lot of rabbits. I haven't resolved that in my mind because I don't congenitally have the choice to just do one thing. Sometimes you just kind of like let everything go and then you see what makes the most sense. You kind of like push on all the projects until one of them feels like it's ready. I, in point of fact, don't remember how I got things done.
You might be uniquely good at it. You've gotten things done. You've done things.
I know that I have in the past. I don't remember how to do that. And I think that that is the emotional arc of the piece. I think that is the journey that I'm on, is that I think I've forgotten how to do things. Part of what enables you to get things done at a point is that you have an existential need to prove that you can do them because no one believes that you can. Now that I have done things, people believe that I can do things, and I am missing a key part of the motivation. It's not just the oppositional defiant thing. It's that I think in the arc of every man's career, and I can only speak for men, at the beginning of your career, maybe, I'm making this stuff up. At the beginning of your career, I think the big question is, can I do the thing? And it's both like, can I prove to myself that I can do the thing? But it's also, no one will let me do the thing, so I can't even demonstrate that I can do the thing. So you have to fight just to get a chance to do the thing. I don't know what the thing is. It's whatever the thing is. That's the first question you have to answer is, can I do the thing? And then at a certain point, you prove to yourself and incidentally to other people, oh, I can do the thing. And then you have to ask other weird, scary existential questions that you didn't have to ask when you were just motivated by the desire to prove to yourself and to other people that you could do things. You have to be like, what is meaningful? What do I do? You know? So I feel like I'm missing a lot of the constraints, like, oh, I need to make a living or I'll starve and my family will also starve. I'm missing those constraints. So if things feel different now and I no longer have confidence that I can get anything done, but I must or I'll die. Like Jordan Peterson's one clawed crab.
Wait, what is
Callback. to Reddit. Part of the key to internet success is opposition. And I hope I've said enough controversial things, but I think it's really important at a point that someone argues with me. Like, I feel like I need to upset some corner of the internet, which I'm loath to do, but I feel like we need controversy. And if we don't get it just from me being me, I will fake it.
Well, what do you think? When you say you think you'll die, what is the nature of this death that you speak of? Like,
It's the second death.
oh, jeez.
Part of it is proving that I can still do things, but part of it is sort of looking at the Colfax project and my cultural endeavors and people being like, what exactly is the end game here? But I know that people aren't seeing in their heads what I'm seeing in my head. And really the part of the creative struggle is the vast gulf between the perfect vision that you have in your head and the sad, real thing that you create ultimately. But I feel like I need to make spaces and businesses that sort of communicate closer the fullness of the cultural vision, which is like making cool stuff and cool spaces. And I need to do that because I feel like it's important. I hope that answers your question. I was thinking that we should have a segment called the Mortality Minute, where I do a
Where we switch to a snuff film.
I do think that there needs to be a memento mori in every episode wherein I say, one day we're all gonna die.
Everybody's gonna die one day.
Well, I'll work on it. When we bought this space, there's this furnace and we turned it on and we're like, oh, it's not generating a lot of heat. And then we realized it was broken and was just pumping carbon monoxide into the space. I was like, don't anybody use the furnace or we'll all die. And then I came back and someone had turned it on again. One day we're all gonna die.